Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So, today in this class, we will be talking about the age of Chaucer. So, the age that we are discussing is the age of Chaucer. What is the time period? It is 1350 from 1400. This is the time period. First of all, we'll be discussing the historical context of this period, and then we will look at the works that are written by this very important figure called as Chaucer. So, when we look at the period, there are three events that happened. The first, of course, is the Hundred Year War. The Hundred Years War. This war happened from 1337 till 1453. So, this was the first thing. Then we had the Black Death. Okay, the Black Death, and then we had the Peasants' Revolt. So, the Black Death, the time period is 1346 till 1353. And last but not the least was the Peasants Revolt. Peasants Revolt that happened in 1381. So these were the three events, and when we look at these three events closely, we'll realize how the age of Chaucer can be categorized. So knowing about these three events is also very important. Let us look at the historical background of these three events. So firstly, it was the Hundred Year War, from which we should start. So it was Edward the Two. Again, the time period is 1307 till 1327. So it was Edward the Two who failed. So he failed as the king of England. जब ये throne पे आए, so England was also not doing very well, and he could not use the resources very well. He could not manage the resources. His nobles, his nobles were not impressed. His nobles were not impressed with him. So इनसे कोई भी impressed नहीं था. But of course, he was the one who was ruling England. So it was Edward, as I told you. It was Edward the Two, जो कि इस टाइम पे यहाँ पे रूल कर रहे थे. Edward the Two also tried to do a lot of different activities were done by him, but ultimately he was not accepted. There was a nobleman जिनके साथ इनके बहुत ज़्यादा illicit relations भी थे, but we can ignore that. And there was this person called as Roger Mortimer, sorry. So Roger Mortimer was a nobleman, and he was a nobleman who allied with the queen. He allied with the Queen Isabella of France. So we know in the Anglo-Norman period, it was the French rule that started here. So यहाँ पे the queen of Edward the Two was the Queen Isabella, and she was from France. They both had a good relation, but after some time their relation started to get destroyed. Why? Because Edward the Two was busy in his own life affairs. There was illicit relationship, rumors about him, and because of all of these things, Isabella also drifted apart. So Roger Mortimer, another nobleman, allied with Queen Isabella, and they disposed Edward the Two. So इन्होंने Edward the Two को dispose किया, and they started to rule. They started to rule England. For the next 3 years, we see that they were ruling in the name of Edward's son, Edward the Three. तो जब तक Edward the Three नहीं आते, तब तक they were the one who were ruling. When Edward the Three came into picture, when he became the king, he got to know about the problems that happened. He executed Mortimer. इन्होंने क्या किया? He executed Mortimer and also claimed his throne back. He claimed his throne back because he was the rightful descendant. Okay, so this was the time. This was the period where the 100-year war started, and the French actually so we see that the French support of Scotland against England was seen, and there was dispute over English properties that were there in France. Edward decided to claim to the French crown, and because of this England also had a hostile relationship with France. So we also saw that यहाँ पे ही 100 year war start होता है. The 100 year war started here from 1337 till 1453, right? French were supported by Scotland, and the problem started. It was between England and the French. इंग्लैंड एंड द फ्रेंच. ऑल्सो इट वॉज सीन एडवर्ड द थर्ड को बहुत सारे टैक्सेस देने पड़ रहे थे, जिसकी वजह से ही वॉज वेरी डिससेटिस्फाइड. सो देयर वॉज दिस वॉर दैट स्टार्टेड. Although it actually lasted for about 116 years, the historians of the 19th century called it as the 100-year war to describe the long conflict that was there between England as well as France. So there was this war. The 100-year war started in 1377 and lasted for 100 years. England won a few battles, but the war made England वर्चुअली वेरी बैंकरप्ट. ओके, सो यहाँ से इंग्लैंड क्या हो गया, बैंकरप्ट सिचुएशन हो गई. सोचो 1 year, तो 100 years तक यहाँ पे अगर वॉर चलता रहेगा, सो नो कंट्री वुड बी अ वेरी हेल्दी कंट्री. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस द internally England was very weak. So the second event that started after the 100-year war was the Black Death. इसके बाद Black Death आता है in 1346 till 1353. It was the bubonic plague that reached England somewhere in June. So June 1348 में a bubonic plague. This bubonic plague was spreading because of the flea infection. So किसकी वजह से, there was a flea infection that started, and also there were certain rats जिनकी वजह से ये infection आ रहा था. In England this infection was hit. It was also why, because ships used to travel from one place to another. उस time पे transportation started through ships, and because of this जब वो दूसरी कंट्रीज़ में जाया करते थे, जब सेलर्स वापस आते थे अपने साथ क्या लेके आते थे, इन्फेक्शन लेके आते थे. It wiped out about 1/3 of the population of England. 1/3 population क्या हो गई थी, वाइप आउट हो गई थी. A severe depopulation happened, and the migration of the village to the cities also caused the shortage of agriculture. So population तो कम हुई, it was the population जो कम हुई. ऑल्सो क्या हुआ, देर वर अ लॉट ऑफ माइग्रेटरी एक्टिविटीज, सो माइग्रेशन हुआ. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एग्रीकल्चरल लेबर्स ऑल्सो सफ़र, एंड एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज़ भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा कम हो गई. एंड मैनी विलेजेस वर अबैंडन. पूरे के पूरे विलेजेस क्या हो गए थे, ख़त्म हो गए थे. सो यू कैन लुक एट दिस picture and this flow chart, and you'll realize how Edward the II was married to Isabella. Edward the III was born. So both claimed land in the southwest France. Because of this problem started. So France के रूलर और इंग्लैंड के रूलर दोनों को ही क्या चाहिए था, सर्दर्न फ्रांस पे कंट्रोल चाहिए था. समहाउ टैक्स भी मांग रहे थे यहाँ पे एडवर्ड द थर्ड से. सो द वॉर स्टार्टेड. वॉर की वजह से ऑलरेडी द इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस वर सो वीक, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस जब ब्लैक डेथ आया, when Black Death is going to hit England, England would not survive, right? यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम आने लगी. The trades that were there, trades came to a halt. Trades रुक गए. It was the economy that collapsed. And also the church lost its अथॉरिटी. और चर्च की अथॉरिटी क्या हो गई, चली गई. सो चर्च की अथॉरिटी भी ख़त्म हो गई थी. दीज वर द फ्यू कॉजेज दैट वर सीन. गवर्नमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव अ लॉट ऑफ, गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो शोड अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स. देर वर ऑल्सो पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट, public resentment were also seen, right? I hope this is clear. Then what happened? It was the third thing that happened during this time called as I think okay, ठीक है. So the third event that happened was the peasants' revolt. Third thing that happened was the peasants' revolt. It happened in 1380. English authorities imposed higher poll tax. तो poll tax लगाया गया, limited labor wages, and it turned free laborers into, so जितने भी laborers थे, they were converted into sheriffs, and they together were there to exploit the peasants. So they were given lands, piece of lands, जहाँ पे ये peasants से काम कराने लगे. By May 1381, the revolt started in Wessex region that took government by surprise. In June, the rebel from Wessex moved towards Kent as well, and then later went towards London. On the 13th, the Kentish men under this person called as Wat Taylor, he is the one who entered London. इन्होंने कहाँ एंटर किया? इन्होंने लंदन में एंटर किया, right? Where they burned down John of Gaunt's palace. So they entered London and they burned John of Gaunt's Savory Palace, and they killed both the chancellor as well as the treasurer also. Violence and unrest continued until the intervention of the king, who defeated the rebel army by 25th June. It was seen that at least 1,500 rebels were killed during this time, and till 1380 में इतने सारे लोगों की डेथ हो चुकी थी, and this period was called as the peasants' revolt. So it was also the problems because of the tax that were going on, जहाँ पे peasants ने revolt किया that we won't listen to whatever is happening right now, we will fight for our own. When it comes to literature of this period, who all are the writers, who all are the most significant writer? So we have the very own Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer started writing in 1340s and till 1400 he's writing. 3 phases के इनके works हैं, we'll be studying about it. There is another figure called as William Langland. 1332 1386. After this we have John Wycliffe. In 1320s he is writing 1384. Then John Gower 1330 1408. And then we have, last but not the least, John Mandeville 1300 1371. So please remember the dates as well, very important. Dates से पेपर में काफ़ी बार क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं. Okay, so these are the literary figures, personas that are famous. This entire age is called as Age of Chaucer. Why? Because Chaucer was the most important writer during this time. None other writer was as important as Chaucer. Then you also should remember that इस time पे there was the Renaissance period going on in Italy. What was going on in Italy? It was the Renaissance. What is Renaissance? Renaissance basically is rebirth. It stands for rebirth. It was going on in Italy. There we saw church के अंदर Pope had a lot of power. Pope had a lot of control here as well. Church या फिर you can say religion was an important topic that we will discuss as the themes of the works written here. Pope himself had a lot of problems. Of course, आपस में भी popes के बीच में problems started because there were certain bishops who were fighting with one another. They also confiscated a lot of land from people. So peasants' revolt somehow happened because of this thing only. सो यहाँ पे काफ़ी टर्मोइल था. इटालियन रेनेसा वॉज कमिंग हेयर एंड राइटर्स लाइक दांते एलिग्री again write the dates. Then Petrarch is the father of sonnets also. And apart from this, Boccaccio. These are the three writers who were writing, and Petrarch of course is the most famous one for his sonnets. Sonnets क्या होते हैं? 14 लाइन की poems को हम sonnets कहते हैं. Dante, Petrarch as well as Boccaccio. They are the writers who were writing in Italy and they brought Italian Renaissance with them. Pope also was gaining a lot of power, right? So please write the dates. These are the important writers that were writing during this period, right? Note this as well. So now you'll realize that these three events that I told, the 100-Year War as well as the Peasant Revolt and the Black Death, are combined somehow, very same to one another. Now let us talk about Chaucer. So Geoffrey Chaucer, unka time period is from 1340 till 1400. Geoffrey Chaucer was, so we see his birth around 1343, his death 1400. He was a author, poet, philosopher, he was a diplomat, he was a bureaucrat as well. He is mostly known for his work Canterbury Tales. He is one who is going to use the Middle English vernacular Middle English vernacular is used in the Middle Ages because of him, and he's going to legitimize that. He also became the father of English literature. This also is very important. If they ask you who is the father of English literature, it was Chaucer. So Chaucer का पूरा writing style is divided into 3 phases, right? Chaucer ने 3 phases में लिखा है और हर phase is related to one language that he will opt. The first period is called as the French period. The first period is the French period. He has written works like Roman de la Rose. Then we have, and please ये paper में directly आता है तो इसलिए लिखो, The Book of the Duchess. The Book of the Duchess. Then we have the complaint up to pity, and an ABC. So this was the work. During this time, he was a civil servant. He also fought in the 100-Year War. So when the 100-Year War happened, between whom? Between France versus England. तो चौसर ने यहाँ पे पार्टिसिपेट किया था. He came in close contact with the French language and French culture during this time, and इसीलिए this first period is called as the French period, right? Chaucer served under 3 kings in his lifetime. Also remember this. Chaucer ने 3 kings के under काम किया है. It's just a information that you should know. It is Edward the 3. Then we have Richard, and third is Henry. ठीक है, so these are the 3 rulers, and he actually learned a lot about French language and French culture. In the French period, these are the works that he has written. Then, okay, let us move towards another age that is there. Next age कौन सी है उनकी? So the next period is called as the Italian period. The next period is the Italian period. This Italian period also has works like Troilus and Cressida, the unfinished work The House of Fame, then Parliament of Fowls, as well as The Legend of Good Woman, right? So during this period we find that Chaucer was sent as a diplomat. एक diplomatic mission पे Chaucer को भेजा गया था, where in Italy. That is why he started to write in Italy, and this came to be called as the Italian period. He came under the influence of Italian writers here, and he traveled extensively in Europe during this time. उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रैवल किया था in Europe. That is why he started to write in Italian, right? So this was the second period. Then we have the third period, and this period is the period called as the English period. ये English period है. The English period is known for his most important work called as the Canterbury Tales. The Canterbury Tales. During this time, he was elected as the member of parliament. So he was the member of parliament. He could closely see what were the truths of people, what were the facades, who all were faking. He was at higher level. He planned and started writing Canterbury Tales, and he made English literature, the most, this work was most famous when it comes to English literature. He died after writing 24 stories for this work. ज़्यादा वो नहीं लिख पाए थे, only 24 stories he was able to write. But during this time he also faces a lot of upheavals. तो उनकी खुद की personal life was not very sorted. So he could write about real personas, real life characters. So Canterbury Tales basically is about a journey. ये एक journey की story है, journey that is taken by 30 pilgrims. 30 pilgrims हैं. They are taking a journey from Tabard Inn. Tabard Inn से, that is in the South Walk, they are taking a journey to St. Thomas Becket's shrine. So ये सेंट थॉमस बेकेट की श्राइन पे जा रहे हैं. दैट इज़ देयर इन कैंटरबरी, जो कैंटरबरी कैथीड्रल के अंदर है. द होस्ट एट द इन सजेस्ट दैट, जो भी हमारे होस्ट थे उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया दैट ईच पिलग्रिम विल टेल 2 टेल्स. हर पिलग्रिम क्या करेगा, 2 टेल्स सुनाएगा ऑन द वे आउट एंड 2 ऑन द वे होम, राइट, to help while they are away and they are on the road. So 2 tales while they are going to the shrine and 2 tales while they are coming. So one person will say 4 tales. This literary device gives Chaucer the opportunity to paint a series of vivid words. इन्होंने क्या किया, क्रॉस सेक्शनल स्टडी करी. पहली बार इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में किसी ने क्रॉस सेक्शनल स्टडी की, क्लोज स्क्रूटिनी की फॉर द सोसाइटी. चॉसर इज़ गोइंग टू मिक्स सेटायर. सब पे इन्होंने क्या किया है, मोस्टली सेटायर्स करे हैं और रियलिज्म. सो सेटायर एंड रियलिज्म वर मिक्स टुगेदर. ही विल टॉक अबाउट डिफरेंट पिलग्रिम्स एंड द करेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ दीज पिलग्रिम्स. ही विल यूज़ कॉमिक फिगर्स, कॉमिक करेक्टर्स और ह्यूमर का इन्होंने यूज़ किया so that satirical tone can be created. The tales are of course very fascinating. They will talk about English society typically in the 14th century. Chaucer's original plan was to write 120 stories, but only 24 he could write, and after that he died. So 120 में से सिर्फ 24 he could write, right? So these were the problems that happened. So Canterbury Tales basically talks about the middle class and the lower class, the middle class and the upper class as well. ये सारे writers, ये सारे के protagonist हैं. Canterbury Tales basically is written in verse, and there are 2 tales that are written in prose or non-poetic writing with no rhythm or no rhyme, or other poetic structures were not there. So mostly Canterbury Tales के सारे works किस में है, in verse form है, and they are considered as poetry, okay? And there are only 2 tales. There are only 2 tales that are written in non-poetic form, और non-poetic form को हम क्या कहते हैं, prose. Now this was a PYQ. कौन सी हैं ये 2 tales? So we have the tale of Parson called as the Parson's Tale, as well as the tale of Melody. So 1 and 2, these are the 2 tales that are non-verse, मतलब prose form में, बाकी सारे verse form में. Again a very important question that is asked. So these are the 3 periods, and of course Chaucer के ये सारे works बहुत famous हैं. After Chaucer, of course, there is another very important figure, and his name is William Langland, who is also writing. So यहाँ पे एक और राइटर लिख रहे हैं and his name is William Langland. William Langland is another writer, 1332 till 1386. So he is known only for one work that he wrote, that is Piers Plowman. Piers Plowman. It is what? It is an allegorical narrative. एलिगोरिकल नरेटिव होते हैं कि आप डायरेक्टली नहीं बताते हो, इनडायरेक्टली कोई चीज़ आप सैटायरिकल तरीके से लिखते हो इन अनराइम्ड मैनर. इट इज़ अनराइम्ड ऑल्सो, इट इज़ एलिगोरिकल नरेटिव. एंड what is used? Alliterative verses are used. Alliterative verse is used here. It is divided into different sections. ये अलग अलग sections के अंदर लिखा गया and these sections are called as passages. ठीक है? And it contains a mix of allegory as well as it is a kind of social satire. So society में होने वाली उस टाइम पे feudal structures जो बन गए थे, that we have discussed in the previous classes also. नॉर्मन्स के साथ ही feudal structure बन गया था इंग्लैंड में, वेयर द किंग वॉज एट द टॉप. उसके बाद नीचे नीचे अलग अलग स्ट्रक्चर्स के अंदर लोग थे. इसकी वजह से इसके ऊपर सेटायर करना ज़रूरी था. इट वॉज ड्रेनिंग इंग्लैंड एज अ नेशन. सो इट बिकेम अ थियोलॉजिकल एलिगरी बिकॉज रिलीजन भी उस टाइम पे एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ थी, एज वेल एज अ सोशल सेटायर. इट कंसर्न्स विद अ नरेटर्स क्वेस्ट. सो ये नरेटर की क्वेस्ट के साथ एसोसिएटेड है. एंड व्हाट इज़ द क्वेस्ट फॉर? क्वेस्ट फॉर ट्रू क्रिश्चियन लाइफ. क्या चाहिए उन्हें? क्रिश्चियन लाइफ चाहिए. एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज़ अ ट्रू क्रिश्चियन लाइफ, इसके बारे में स्टोरी है. रिटन इन अ वेरी सिम्बॉलिक मैनर एंड इट इज़ अंडरस्टूड so that it can be understood by a layman as well. लैंग्वेज इज़ वेरी सिंपल, इट इज़ वेरी कलोकियल, बट इमेजरी बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ होती है. बहुत पावरफुल इमेजरी इज़ यूज्ड हेयर. सो दिस इज़ अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क. ऑल्सो UGC नेट के अंदर भी ये काफ़ी बार आया हुआ है. सो दिस इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. देन देयर इज़ अनदर राइटर एंड हु इज़ दैट? सो दिस राइटर, okay, so this writer is called as John Wycliffe. John Wycliffe, the time period is 1320-1384. John Wycliffe is very famous for his translation of Bible. I will take another class when we will be talking about Bible and the translations of Bible. बाइबल वी ऑल नो, सबसे पहले हिब्रू लैटिन के अंदर बाइबल आती है एंड ग्रेजुअली इट वाज ट्रांसलेटेड. सो बाइबल की वजह से देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ कंट्रोल दैट वाज इन द हैंड्स ऑफ पोप. ओके, चर्च के हाथ में इतने ज़्यादा पावर थी. वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ बाइबल. ओनली फ्यू पीपल हु वर एट द टॉप, जो जैसे कि पोप हो गए या फिर किंग हो गए, उनको ही लैटिन आया करती थी समझ. एंड बाइबल सबसे पहले लैटिन और हिब्रू में ही थी. Gradually it became the source that was it was written in vernacular English. So who is famous for that? So जब कोई language, जब कोई एक ऐसा piece of work है जो सिर्फ एक ही person को समझ आ रहा है, that is the Pope or few people, they started to take control over the common people. They also started to extort money. वो बोलते थे कि हर कोई डैमनेशन की तरफ चला जाएगा इफ़ यू डू नॉट कम टू चर्च, डू नॉट गिव देम मनी और गिव देम देयर ओन लैंड. सो कन्फेस्टिकेशन ऑफ लैंड, मनी एंड इमोशनल ब्लैकमेलिंग वॉज डन बाय पोप और बाय द चर्च और बाय द अथॉरिटी. बहुत ज़्यादा लैंड ये लोग कॉमन पीपल से ले रहे थे. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस द पीजेंट रिवोल्ट ऑल्सो हैपेंड. People realize that it is important to translate Bible. Why are they following what only is said by Pope? They need to read Bible. They said that they can self-interpret the Bible. They can themselves understand and read Bible and can come to conclusions. So this credit goes to this person called as John Wycliffe. John Wycliffe translated Bible into vernacular English. What is vernacular English? ये English जो सबको समझ आ रही थी पहले, because the old English was not comprehensible to everyone. Vernacular English was comprehensible to everyone. People started to read Bible on its own, and the role of Pope reduced. Because of this, Pope became so agitated, जो कि because of this उन्होंने जॉन वाइक्लिफ को क्या बोला, that he was a heretic. इन्होंने गलती करी है, लोगों के साथ गलत किया गया. He was termed as a heretic, a person who is doing a crime to the society. John Wycliffe was an Oxford University theologian, as well as he was a Christian reformer. So अगर हम रेफर्मेशन जब पढ़ेंगे एक बारी, वी विल ऑल्सो स्टडी अबाउट रेफर्मेशन. रेफर्मेशन क्या था, इंग्लैंड में किस तरीके से रिफॉर्म आया. रेफर्मेशन कम्स फ्रॉम द वर्ड रिफॉर्म, so we will study about that as well. Reform related to literature. So John Wycliffe was followed by a lot of people. His followers were called as Lollards. They were the group of people who were anti-clerical English Christians, and he was one of the forerunners for this movement called as Protestant Reformation. Protestant Reformation के ये क्या थे, फॉलोअर थे. He mixed national standard of English prose as well. He became very famous. As I told you, he was termed as a heretic. He was also killed and he was burned, literally burned to death because he translated the Bible. Then बहुत टाइम बाद एक और वर्क आता है that also became famous. And what is this work? This work was written by another important writer called as John Mandeville. Time period is this that I have written. So he has written the work called as The Travels of Sir John Mandeville. Okay, he compiled travelers tales. इन्होंने क्या किया, ट्रैवलर्स की टेल्स को कंबाइन किया, added imagination and described his own adventures also. It is an extraordinary work, gained extraordinary popularity despite its unreliable. So there were certain unreliable characteristics, unreliable nature. This work of art became very famous और बहुत सारे travelers ने इसको read किया and इसको use किया. It reflected the situations of the contemporary society as well. That is why this work was famous. So contemporary world के बारे में आपको ज़्यादा पता लगा and it gained popularity. Then we have John Gower. John Gower, he was another writer. John Gower 13301408. John Gower wrote works like, I'll write in French. पहले तो this is a work, Mirror de la Moon. This was a French work that he wrote. Then उस time पे और कौन सी language थी? In Latin also he wrote. Vox Calamentis. This was a work written in Latin. Then we have Confessio Amantis, and this was a work written in English. Okay, so he was a court official, he was a poet, and he wrote on country love and moral allegory. So इन्होंने किस पे लिखा था, country कह रही हूँ मैं, sorry, it is courtly love. It is, I'll write here, it was the courtly love, plus he wrote allegorical works. Okay, his tenderness and his appeal to art made him a famous writer. So what all were the characteristics of the works if I broadly discussed? So English language was deliberately under, of course English language was liberated, you can say, from the influence of French as well as Latin. Gradually English became a piece of land that was important. East Midland dialect became acceptable from the standardized English. It was the East Midland डायलेक्ट, बिकॉज ये भी पेपर में आ जाता है डायलेक्ट्स के बारे में. पॉवर्टी, अनरेस्ट, रिवोल्ट गेव राइज टू इंटेलेक्चुअल मूवमेंट्स एंड एलिगरी एज अ राइटिंग स्टाइल बिकेम वेरी फेमस इन द एज ऑफ चौसर. So these were the few characteristics. I hope you guys understood. Please study a little bit about Chaucer. दो हम लोग कैंटरबरी टेल्स के बारे में अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे. There are upper class people, middle class people, as well as the lower class people, because class structure or the feudal structure यहीं से आया था. So we will be studying about Canterbury Tales in another video. That would be a separate endeavor that we would indulge in. But I hope you guys understood this at least. Chaucer is one of the most important writer. He is called as the father of English literature. You could understand why. है इनके सारे वर्क्स बहुत फेमस हैं. The three periods, the French period, the Italian period and the English period gave rise to this person called as Chaucer, who was termed as the father of English literature. Also, you should know about the other writers like Geoffrey Chaucer, William Langland, John Wycliffe, Gower, as well as John Mandeville, who also contributed. We will also study about Dante Petrarch as well as Boccaccio when we will study about the European literature. Then we also discussed about the socio-political situations, whether it was the 100-Year War, whether it was the Peasant Revolt or Black Death. All of these three events were important to shape what England is today. Okay, so with this I'll wind up the lecture. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next class.